Today I'm interviewing Mr. Kobe Fabian, who is the owner of Soul Foods grocery shop in Nottingham, and we are doing, as part of our documentary, a feature on this shop, and speaking to the owner, Mr. Kobe Champong, and asking him about the challenges and opportunities that he faces as a Ghanaian businessman in the UK.
Worked as an employee, so I felt I had a lot of opportunity within myself than to be an employee. So I had a few business ideas, and I considered some of them. I started off as import and export of cocoa butter and shea butter from Africa into the UK, and then I had customer base all across France, you know, some parts of Europe, and then into America. And then along the lines, I decided to, you know, go a bit further. So I realized there's other opportunities within the African community to set up a food store, you know. So I did my research and found the right spot, which is on Atherton Road, and then I got the shop. I got the shop on Atherton Road. Atherton Road is a perfect road. It's a link road from the main city centre of Nottingham that connects to Baseford, all the way to the Hyacinth Green area, goes to those in Broxtowe, Aspley, you know, and these communities are mainly black communities. So those from city centre will definitely go on the buses that ply Atherton Road. So obviously it gives, you know, advertisement, you know, my shop advertises itself, you know, to the public. So it's quite a perfect shop. But having said that, it's quite expensive as well, you know, given the location, because when shops are very close to the city centre, you know, business rates are high, rents is high, you know, and then it actually eats into your profit margin. First of all, you know, I've been, you know, every time I go to functions like birthday, naming ceremonies, you know, and stuff like that, I talk to people about what their thoughts are on a new African shop. We used to have one, you know, a very popular one called the Accra Central, but it kind of more or less folded up a bit and, you know, struggled to restart again. So people were struggling to get the indigenous African food, you know, especially for the Ghanaian community. So my one-on-one conversation with people informed me of that. And also I did like the what you call the the Facebook communications with people, social media. Yeah, I did Facebook to actually ask people to like or dislike, you know, express their opinion on an African shop on Atherton Road, and the response was good. You know, so I decided to take the risk. Now, within the first 6 months that we opened, we continued the research. Now, every time a customer walks in, you know, we ask them about, you know, what their shopping styles is like and stuff, you know, and we realized that people need a lot of African things that they don't actually get. So it was a buzz for us to push forward and make the dream happen. A 21st century world of high technology, and any business that, you know, seeks to eliminate that, you know, is in a cuckoo land. You know, if you want your business to be successful, social media is now you know, come to stay, and it's one of the platforms where any business should consider advertising itself. You know, so it did work for me, and it continues to work because it's one of the mediums that, for example, we are able to communicate to people new stock, you know, deals that and offers that are going on, you know, because you can imagine a lot of my customer base are mothers and, you know, family people who look after kids and that. So they don't always get the chance to come out, you know, and window shop. So they stay at home doing their everyday stuff, and we're able to inform them at the same time what's going on the high street market.
You mentioned, you know, that you did some research, or you do ongoing research for your customers, so that you know what they want and try and get an idea of their taste. Could you please explain to listeners why you do this, and has it helped you to provide to your customers, you know, what they need and want so?
Yeah, way back as I can remember, when we first started, beside the research, we took risk in buying things based on our own assumptions, impulses, and things like that. But in the end, we realized that, you know, we lost a lot of money on that. You know, for example, we got to the point where we felt we could bring in Eastern European goods. We invested about $5,000 into buying Polish, you know, Bulgarian, Eastern European goods into the shop. But as you can see now, none of such exists in the shop because we didn't do any research on that. You know, we just went straight ahead and we bought them. We took the risk, but it didn't work. You know, in the end, we had to discount them and get rid of them. So that goes to say that, you know, research is very, very important before you go into something. You know, thank God I didn't lose.
What is your role within the actual Soul Foods grocery itself?
Yeah, I'm the owner and the director of Soul Food. Soul Food operates under the big umbrella of Share Magic UK Limited. Share Magic UK Limited, you know, we import and export cosmetics, and under that, Soul Food operates within the UK company house system. You know, I'm the admin person. I do all the bookkeeping, you know, the everyday bookkeeping. I'm the same person that goes to the market. Most of the goods we sell in the shop are sourced in London. There's a market called Spitalfield. It's a big market where most of the fresh produce from Europe, you know, come over. And it's a midnight market. It starts from 12 o'clock till about 7 in the morning. So by 12 a.m. I set off with my van. You know, sometimes alone I go over to buy the goods and bring it into the shop. I also do retail packaging of some of the wholesale bulky stuff that I bring in. most of the time you get goods in 25 kilograms, 20 kilograms, and things like that. So you have to break them down into 1 kilos, 500 grams, retail package them, you know, so that you can cater for all your customers. You know, some buy in bulk, some buy in medium packs, some buy in small packs. So we have to cater for each one of them. So I am the person that does all the retail packaging. And in retail packaging, you also have to meet the packaging standards for the food.
On that, could you please tell the listeners back home about these standards that you're on about, and if it's very important into the way that you as a Ghanaian does business here?
I can say when you look around the shop, you know, just about 6 weeks ago, we had an assessment. The food standards authorities came in to actually have a look, because African shops have a reputation of excuse me to say, filth. Most of the time, we feel like they are being too hard on us, but they are not being too hard on us, because over the years the trend of finding rodents and the defecation of rats, cockroaches and things within the food shop has been quite often. A year ago, one of the African shops came in the newspapers as the dirtiest shop in Nottingham. So then you can imagine why they frequent African shops, you know, to see what we do. When you look around my shop, everything is very organized. We make sure the shop is very clean. You know, we label accordingly. And when it comes to retail packaging, it's very important. When you look at the door, there's a little sticker on the front door. Our rating is there. The rating starts from 1 to 5, and this shop has a rating of 4. So, you know, you can see that, you know, we are high up there, but there's still a lot of work to do. So when it comes to retail packaging, you have to make sure that when you break them down into 500 grams, 1 kilo, 1.5 kilos, you label them, you make sure it's got a name, you make sure it's got expiry dates, you also make sure the batch from which you have packed that little package. So you look at the original packaging of the main bag, which you've opened, and then you transfer the details onto the packaging. So that is very, very important. You know, you can't just display goods without labeling them. You know, it could be anything. You know, you can have like kokonte, cassava flour. You can have yam flour, and you could have iwiza. You know, when you put it side by side without a label, they all look the same.
Okay.
So then you have to label them.
Sure.
For a customer to know that this is cassava flour, this is kokonte, you know, this iwiza and stuff like that. So it is very important. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break from our interview with Mr. Fabian. We'll be right back after his words. Stay tuned.
AMG baby, AMG baby, AMG baby, AMG baby. Ale.